Antarctica community experiments. Albert T is the reformer who engaged in a committee expert who hoped to create a more stabilized and equipped society. These reformers' ideas found from many expressions from early journalists and experiments of religious belief, on top of inspiring the Second Great Awakening. Octavian, considering an experiment. Until to 1855, in the summer before market industrial revolution, most Americans live on farms where they produce more food goods than they used to. This largely capitalized the culture entered on large family units, who though members all lived in the same town, country, parish. Economic forcefully leash after 1815. However, forever, eternity, that more earths, more people began buying their food and goods from thriving market economies. A shift of the door, new life, new ways. People's new reaction to the valid day, and some new peoples were nostalgic for what they have done. The viewing and similarity and the earlier times, where others were thrilling to try out new ways of living and working. In the early 19th century, a number of experimental communities sprang up to the United States, created by men and women who hoped to just not create a better life for the racist American, or greater inequality, harmony, and could prevail in sanity. And some of the reformers hoped that it contained human relations. Extracting of these new numbers, Eternity Society, unknown because of many short-lived moments, reached apex in 1840. Religious outspan of society, most attracted to European communities, and had been proudly influenced by Evangelical Protestant and eventually the Second Great Awakening. However, their experience of relevancy had left them of waiting further into society, communities that they reformed, joined, headed, First Church, and Societarians. The Shackers provide another example for the community, stabilized with the religious mission of Shakely, entered New England, outgrowing the new Quakers' religion in the middle 18th century. It was emerged in New York in 1770s. After expanding the publication of Religious Awakening, she taught that God, both female and male. Jesus embodied the male side, while his mother Anne had become known by her followers, representative the female side. They shake both hands of England and the United States, Mother Anne representative the Tang's dynasty, and refer over 1,000 years, heaven, earth, following the Jesus Christ, and propose the Christian's Bible. In practice, men, women, and Shagger community were held equal, ridiculed, and ratified. A departure that sent many women outnumbered, men equal, extensive manufacturing goods, and no person could hold property. Of the communities of self-sustaining, raised of the people, of the necessary and including furniture, of the excellent workmanship, as the world pleasured. The indefined texture of the Shaxanian were the smile of Mediterranean, of their probability of sexual intercourse. They were viewed for sexual lesser in the spectrum of life, of the confidency between women, men, children, and shake dancers, which in group of the minority were allowed to release a high point of Shakespeare moment in that was came in 1830, when about 6,000 members of the populated communities in New England, New York, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky. John Hempehofer, the community, another religious believer in the employment of becoming the teachers of John Hess Mill, have volunteered to graduate from Dartmouth Technology for the Second Great Awakening. They have more powerful elected him, the more powerful in belief, the possible perfect freedom of skins, claim achieved state perfection in 1844. What do you think? What caused the ensuing crisis? The community of the experimental service in the first half of the 19th century. Many movements like Shackers and experiment with new roles of sexual hormones. And what do you think many Americans in the era redline sex and marriage? Why would they of these movements survive and others died out? Was the deciding factor a momentary success? Let me know. Comments below. Peace.